Okay, we are going to start off doing a reclined pose. So I want you to choose something that feels like it's going to create some opening across the heart in particular, the upper body. If you want a smaller bolster, if you want to use a blanket roll, you can choose a couple different, whatever it is that may feel comfortable. We're going to probably be in this position for about, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes. All right, so go ahead and get your setup.
But what are we doing?
Open your heart, girl.
We're going to do a reclined position.
Oh, so I was
Yep,
doing it.
you were absolutely right.
Yeah, sorry.
And Kenya's going to help.
Help me, Kenya. Oh, yeah, that's our position.
Kenya says, oh, I will just lick you for this whole time. All right. Okay. Pam, can you still hear me all right? Yes? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So as you find your position, just take any wiggles to get yourself set. Where your legs going to be comfortable, you want your blankets underneath your knees, Elodie?
No, I'm good.
You're good. You got enough support. You want one for your head. All right. Now, as you're doing this, just take a moment to let your back settle in. I'm going to give you a little blanket underneath. Just a little bit.
Yes.
Is that enough? Or you
No,
want a little
it's
more?
okay.
Right.
Because my neck is
Okay. All right. Take a couple breaths to feel the back of your body supported. The back of your head, the back of your shoulders, the back of your sacrum. All of that being supported in this position. The back of your legs, however it is that they are in their position. Take a couple nice full breaths. Feel your lungs expanding, the diaphragm muscle moving down, expanding out through the organs of your stomach. And just some nice full breaths, and really relax any feeling of tension across the collarbones, in the upper chest, around the sternum or heart center, in the rib cage, in the abdomen, or the organs of the pelvis. And just allow yourself to drop now in. Bring the awareness from your brain and bring it down and in to that heart, or the heart mind, we'll call it. And just even with whatever it may be that has been within both your mind and your heart in this last week or so, can you find yourself working to open to just presence with whatever is right now? Whatever there is on the emotional level, on the mind level, on your physical level, on any of the layers that you feel within your existence. Committing to, within this class, just being with what is. Releasing for the next hour and a half the need to change something, to judge something, to invite in this sense of being here in connection with your higher wisdom, your greatest compassion. And bringing that in this next hour and a half forward for yourself, so that as we go back and out into our lives at the end of this class, we're bringing back with us this feeling of being centered in this place. Find your intention within this area, knowing this is what we're working with today. Find, if you'd like, to who or to where or to what you'd like to dedicate your practice today. And once you've done that, you'll silently bring an Om through your body, breathing first all the way down, bringing the breath down into the base, the root, Muladhara in the pelvic floor, and a silent exhale, feeling that arising through your central channel all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. May we practice in harmony, in health, in wisdom and compassion. Namaste. Now, go ahead and just gently, you're going to start to, if your legs are out straight, bend your knees and bring your feet onto the floor. And start to bring yourself over onto one of your sides, doesn't matter which one, and use your arms to then bring your upper body back and up. All right, how's that feeling?
Good.
Okay.
We start.
So I'd like you to just find a sitting position. We're going to work with our breath. So if you want to sit on some supports, if you usually do, like your meditation type seat, something again. We may be here for about 4 minutes or so. And getting yourself into that position. So we're going to just work with a little bit of that full breath. So if you want to put one of the hands up here on the chest and one around the belly button, the navel. And just to start with, feel what your natural pattern of your breath is right now. Just taking and breathing in and out. Just noticing with your natural breath, how far you expand, where you tend to expand. Once you've got the sense of that, you felt about 3 or 4 of your breaths being consistent. Then begin to work to expand your breath just a little bit. Breathe in a little bit deeper. And see if you can fill those lower lobes of your lungs first. The way you'll know that you're doing that is you'll feel the hand that's on your belly moving first. And envision both your right and left set of lungs, the lower lobes expanding. Keeping the hand that's up on your chest there, now take the hand that's on your belly and put it on that side's ribs. And now focus on that middle section of your lungs. And feel perhaps on that hand, the rib cage expanding out to the side and then coming back in. You might take a breath or two to kind of find where's that just right place to feel like you're breathing into through your nostrils to get that to expand just a little bit more than it normally does. And once you have that, then take both of your hands, one on each side of your upper body, your chest, with your fingertips right around your collarbones. And now focus on expanding up through the top lobes. Can you feel your breath really going into this part of your lungs?
Much further here.
Like, so you know where
Oh,
your
yeah,
collarbones
yeah.
are? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right down below that.
Yeah.
All right. And once you've gotten all three of those activated, you can relax your hands down. But now try to fill all three with each breath. Lower, middle, upper. Let that exhale happen naturally. Lower, middle, upper to fill. Exhaling all the breath out. Now, as we do this for a few more breaths, I want you to picture your heart now nestled in between the folds of your lungs. And it sits up on top of your diaphragm muscle, which goes down and up with each breath as your lungs expand. So imagine this heart of yours getting this massage with every single breath. Your heart is not only pumping, but it's getting loved by the air that's coming in and going out. This really natural working together of these organs, the most vital organs probably in our whole body. We can have problems with our liver and survive that. We have problems with our pancreas, mostly survive that. We can lose the kidney and survive that. Parts of our digestive system, elimination system. But once we start to have problems with our heart and lungs, we have to be very careful. So taking good care of these and just honoring their role physically, but also emotionally. So now we're going to start to move our body a little bit to add to this massaging of the heart. So I want you to start just with one of your arms. You can choose whichever one you want. And taking one of your arms and shoulder areas, I'm going to show this with my left. And just kind of on either your inhale or your exhale, bring that arm kind of in and then open it back out. Just with one of your arms at first. Kind of continue to picture.
You have a fist.
Doesn't matter, you can have your arm, your hand open.
So you're doing that, so.
Yeah. And just feel this and just imagine again a little bit more massage of your heart from this side. Just moving that arm. How do you want to both massage it, close in, but also maybe broaden and open? Noticing how it feels to breathe this way. And if you've been breathing one way, inhale and then exhale that way. Now switch it up right now. Switch the breath. And notice how that feels. Now one more breath on this side, this way. And let's switch sides. Go to the other arm. And just with that arm and shoulder, again, start off either on the inhale or exhale, moving it one way, and then using the inhale or exhale to move it the other way. Just finding your natural rhythm with this. How is my heart and my lungs feeling about this?
Switch to respiration.
Yeah, and once you've done that a few times, go ahead and switch which way you're breathing. All right. If you have been sitting cross-legged and you want to switch the cross of your legs, go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. If you don't want to, that's okay. Now we're going to work with doing this with both arms. Now again, I've been kind of moving in and out like this, but start to even play with maybe even a little bit higher, inhale and exhale, a little bit lower, inhale and exhale. Kind of think about our heart centered behind the sternum, just a little over to the left. Keep imagining that and watching and feeling this sense of your lungs doing this massaging. Kind of keeping connected with that body, mind, heart, wisdom in this feeling and sensing of how best. It's kind of like I'm going to come in and protect, and then I'm going to open and give. Yeah, receive and give. All right, good. So now we're gonna just take this a little bit farther, and I'm gonna stretch my legs out because I've had them curled under in this kind of thunderbolt position. So for a minute, I'm gonna stretch my legs out. Go ahead and feel free to do the same if you want to. Just wiggle them a little bit. We're gonna be getting up onto our hands and knees in just a moment. So just prepare your legs however you need to for that, all right? And what we're going to do is we come on to then hands and knees as you're ready for that, is we're going to think about our lungs expanding and bringing the breath down and into our pelvis and kind of trying to get that feeling that now our breath is going to be expanding out into our arms and legs. All right. So come on onto your hands and knees. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. All right. We think Debbie moved herself off the camera too. So
There's no more set. It's gone the rain.
all right.
Really,
come on to your hands and knees.
Oh, I dreamed it was snowing. You know,
So right here in hands and knees, what I want you to do is just find any movement that you want to. You don't have to stay still, but start to get this feeling that you're breathing through your lungs, but now you're going to feel that breath and the blood from your heart coming all the way down through all of your arteries, coming back up through all of the veins, carrying this beautiful love-infused, oxygen-infused blood to all the parts of your body. So finding now some motion that's going to kind of keep you in this feeling of massaging this through your body now. Possibly some rocking forward and back, possibly some side to side swaying, finding that nice full breath still working within your body, and your heart and lungs particularly guiding the movements here. Now, we're going to start to take one of your legs back. Just take one leg back, putting the toes on the ground. And now as you breathe in, try to breathe all the way out through that heel, all the way up through the crown of your head. And now here, just maybe a little wiggle side to side here. Just see how this feels. And then bring that leg back, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stretch back through this other heel, centering awareness, heart, lungs, but sending that energy back through that heel. And how do you want to move to keep feeling that feeling of the breath, the oxygen, the blood coming all the way through all the parts of your body, just stretching out through that heel. Good. Now come up on your knees for just a moment and relax the wrists. We're going to come back down onto hands and knees for a moment. Now, one of the things that I want to be aware of is we're really centering this class in this area of the body. So what we're going to do this next time is we're going to start to extend the arms out, but I want you to feel what happens here, both physically, but emotionally, like Do you notice, really stay aware of, are there feelings of you're compressing something as you're moving? And what can you do to try to not compress this, to keep it free and flowing? So being aware of any of that sense, and then how do you need to move or change your position of your arm or your other body parts to keep this feeling of openness and flowing, all right? And we have Primo the cat, so if you hear meows, Pam, that's what's going on.
Going cat.
All right, so now we're gonna take one of your arms and start to extend that. And now feel what happens on that side in the lungs and the heart, what's going on with that. And can you either keep that out or move that a little bit and still find and feel the freedom of that? Maybe my arm needs to not come out straight. Maybe it needs to be at an angle to help support that. Just play with that for you. Once you've explored that, bring that arm back and down, and then explore that with the other side. And again, we're trying to continue to feel this feeling of freedom, compassion, openness, expansion in the heart and the lungs. So where does it feel like it gets compressed? Where does it feel like it can stay open in all of these areas? All right, come back and down. Now here, just go ahead and turn your wrist the other direction. Put the back of your hand on the mat for a moment. Stretch out the back of one of the wrists. And then do that to the other side as well. Come up onto the knees for a moment. So now we're going to go into bird dog, which is extending one of the legs and one of the arms. And again, try to get that feeling. Can you still feel freedom here? A lot more of our muscles are going to be involved. So can you keep breathing the same amount of energy through your body and keep still that feeling of freedom, compassion for yourself? So if you need to adjust your position to keep feeling that, possibly maybe not extending the whole leg, maybe bending the knee and keeping the heel up, or maybe keeping the arm to a different degree. Play with that on one side right now. So one arm, one leg, or normal bird dog, but I want to still feel freedom, even though my body's working a little bit more. So can I still find freedom? And maybe a little movement will help, or maybe adjusting the position of my arm and leg. Maybe just focusing on my heart and my lungs. And once you've done that for those breaths, come on down and switch to the other side. If you want to do a little movement in between or go back into a baby balasana, child's pose, go ahead and then switch now and explore the other side. Does it feel different on this side? All right, find again, breathe into it or move a little bit. See if you can find that feeling of freedom, compassion, love, and then come on back down. Go ahead and sit on your heels for a moment. Just soften and close your eyes and notice how everything's doing right here. Notice if your mind has started to try to get involved rather than allowing the heart mind to lead the way. Keep dropping yourself back and down and into this space. All right. Now we're going to come up to standing. So as you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself on up in whatever way works for you. All right. So let's just go ahead and also now start to feel like we're getting some breath and energy down and into the feet. So maybe come up on the toes and back down a couple times. Breathe that beautiful breath all the way down into the feet. Feeling them as much as maybe our hands already felt, that they're going to receive this same love and affection, all right? Let's go ahead and take onto the toes of one leg and move internal, external. Just get a little rotation happening in that hip. And this same expansion we've had here, can you take that down now into this hip and invite your heart lung energy to be what's moving your leg? Let your breath maybe carry that down there. It feels like a different movement when I do that way versus the muscles, right? So explore that on the other side. First, try your normal way of doing it. I'm just going to move my leg internally and externally. And then pause and bring the heart-mind energy down there and invite your heart and lungs to be the mover of your leg. All right. So now let's just do some hip circles. Again, inviting the energy of your heart to be what's creating this movement, the energy of your lungs, centering your awareness in how they do. Moving around in the other direction if you haven't already. All right. And let's just take, and we're just going to do a nice twist to each side. I like to do this with my hands like this up above my head, but if that doesn't work for your shoulders, just have your hands going straight up like this. Find yourself grounded down. Inhale the arms up, either hands clasped or not. And just right here, take a couple breaths, again, still centered in that heart-lung area. Feel the extension of your body, roots going down, lifting up, but your heart and your lungs are taking their energy to each of these ends of your body. When you're ready and on whatever breath you want, start to gently turn towards one side. A light twist of the spine, whether you're moving the hips to the side or not, doesn't matter, but breathe there a couple breaths. Continuing to bring the energy of the heart out to the extremities. When you're ready, come back into the center. Do the same thing to the other side. Moving from the heart and the lungs, inviting them to just explore holding this, sending their energy as you come into this side twitch. How does this feel? Can you stay free and open in each of these? As you're ready, coming back to center, releasing the arms back and down. Good. We're just going to do some nice big shoulder shrugs. Again, that idea of massaging the heart, go around in the other direction. All right. We're going to do 2 sun salutations today. But again, I want you to do them from here, right? So if you choose to do something a little differently than I'm doing, that's fine. Let your information come from here. Let it tell you what you might need to do or what's going to be best for you. Have your blocks, if it'll help you to have them coming down in transition. We will take the knee down in the first one if you want to. All right. Is there somebody down there that Kenny's barking at? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and find your mountain pose. I'm calling it mountain pose with a heart. All right. So bring your hands up in front of that heart center. I don't know if you heard Elodie. She just said that's panacea. Aw. The mountain with a heart. All right. Tap into that inside of you. This feeling of wisdom and compassion, but a strong feeling of that. So strong you feel like a mountain that can weather anything. Your intention, dedication within you. And as you're ready, flow the arms up, breathing them up from the heart, from the lungs, letting that lift the arms. As you're ready, flow into a forward bend, but lead with the heart. Let the heart take you into whatever posture, whatever manner works best. Take a couple breaths here, possibly moving a little bit, or maybe staying still. If you want to stretch your hamstrings, let your heart inform your hamstrings how to do that. We're then going to inhale, lengthen maybe the spine, and on the exhale, you're going to take that right leg back and set the knee down. Now right here, you're going to find what's best for you, staying with the hands down or lifting up. I want you to center your heart. Inhaling if you're coming up in Anjaneyasana. Now with the arms where they're at, find the freedom of your heart so you can still breathe. I'm just naturally feeling like I want to take my arms out wider today to do that. I'm not so worried about how far I lift up. I'm really centering in the heart, inviting that breath to come down through my legs, through my hips, up through the crown of my head. One more breath. And then on your exhale, just bring it down, fold it down. Good. We're going to take the other leg back. And just take it back for a moment into child's pose. Sink it back there. Now in child's pose, can you still find that feeling of freedom of the heart and the lungs? Make sure they're not compressed in this. They may feel a little bit more protected, but make sure they're not compressed. All right. From here, we're going to come either up and then down into a baby cobra, or if you want to do that, kind of slithering forward with the knee, chin, chest. Slide the legs back. Come into like a little baby cobra and find your way of doing maybe 3 to 6 of these. Where do you feel like you really need to be anchored down? How does your breath help your heart lift into baby cobra and then release back and down so that you feel freedom as you're doing each one of these? No compression, not strain on the heart and lungs. They're supporting you. They're lifting you up. And after however many of those feels right for you to do, we're just going to take and come back up onto hands and knees. Open the AC. And we're going to do a little twisting. So we're going to start off with your right arm, and I'm not mirroring you today. Inhale up with that right arm and exhale, threading under. If that breath works for you, again, now do this a couple more times, but let your heart mind lead you into this. How far to move so that it feels like that heart and lungs are centering the movement of your body. After you've done those 3 or 4 to that side, then go ahead and switch sides. And again, keeping your awareness, keeping that sense that every one of these moves is being generated by my heart, by my lungs. How am I breathing to help lift up into it? How does my breathing help me to come into the twist? And when you've done your number of times on that, coming back to center. And then whether you want to use your bricks or not, we're going to bring that right leg forward again. We took it back, right? Yes. We're on the other side. And if you want to stay low in this, stay low, or lift the arms up, whichever one you're doing, again, centering from the heart itself. How do my arms want to move? How do they best move so I'm not creating any compression, but I'm creating this chance of open and ease so my heart and my lungs can send even more energy out throughout my body, down through my hips, my legs, up through the fingertips. Then as you're ready, bringing the hands down. Now think about this position right here. How can your heart and lungs support you in starting to bring that other leg back forward again? Just find your best way. Take a breath or two here. Let the head relax. Feel the benefit of your breath, your blood coming through and supporting your brain. As you're ready, let your heart and lungs help lift you up. What's the best way for you? Lightness and love. And then bringing the hands back to that center. Now just pause right here and check in with those different layers of your being that we normally do. How is your body feeling right now? How is your breath feeling right now? How about that heart and mind together? How does your energy feel with doing this type of a practice? And as you're ready, softly opening the eyes. This time we're going to step back and we're going to work with Just simply warrior one. And today what we're going to do is we're not going to come down and do the push-up unless you want to. I'm not going to direct you into a vinyasa unless you really want to do that. It's not feeling good on my back, so I don't want to do it. But if your back is fine and you want to do that, please do include that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take us into stepping back. We're going to work with our warrior one. And again, with these arms, and you may want to play with different arm positions, how it feels to do this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of come forward into either just this or lifting up into warrior three. And again, playing with the arms. How do your heart and lungs fill you and support you in that? All right. And then we'll come down and we'll switch the other side. But you can always do that push up, up dog, down dog, or cobra in the middle. All right, here we go. So starting here, again, you know this now, centering heart, mind, remembering what your intention is, who you're dedicating this to. When you're then ready, inviting your arms based on what your heart and lungs are doing to float up, extend. On the exhale, we're going to just bring the hands back to the heart and step your left leg back and find warrior one here. You can keep that back heel lifted or keep the back foot down. All I want you to do is find now this feeling still of being centered and free in the upper body. Play with where you might want your arms, how it feels within your heart and lungs to do some different arm positions here. Possibly cactus arms. Possibly even taking the arms back or clasping the hands back together. Take a few breaths in each of those positions. How can I find right here where I normally, with my hands back, I normally feel like I push my heart forward. How can I find the freedom in my heart without pushing it forward so it doesn't get that strain? There it is. Maybe even playing with eagle arms. Can I do this position of my arms without compressing my heart? Can I do that with both sides if I'm practicing this one? Checking these things out. Now, as you're ready, and if you're up for the challenge, you can stay with that back leg rooted down and just simply start coming forward. You're folding a little bit deeper here, or you can lift off a little bit and play with the arms, play with the lungs, play with the heart, supporting you. Whatever variation of a warrior three type position can work. Centered in the heart, lungs supporting you. You can always bring that back leg down and touch it down again. It doesn't have to stay there all the time. And whenever you're ready to come back, maybe invite a warrior one type position again. And then whenever you're ready, you're going to just step yourself forward, come back to mountain pose. Pause and check in. See how this is feeling. And we'll go ahead and remembering your intention and dedication again, just extending, inviting the heart to extend the arms up, drawing them back and down in front of the heart and stepping the right leg back this time. And finding again the leg position you want to support you on this side. It could be heel up, it could be heel down like a warrior one or a crescent pose. Find what's best for you. And then you're going to work in this position for a while with your arms again. Now, does it feel different with this leg forward? Just notice in the lower lobes of the lungs, it may feel a little different. So work with this side. How do different arm positions feel? Can I continue to find that place of no sense of compression for my heart, a sense of ease in the lungs? And again, for me, as I take my hands back behind me, this is the one that I've really had to work with this, because I guess I used to just kind of press my shoulder blades so hard into my back that it feels like my heart was being pushed against my front ribs. Eagle arms, Garudasana arms is a possibility as well. What is it that you feel like could use some work to find that freedom for you? Once you have played with the arm positions that you want to, and you're ready to start to come either just tilting forward and keeping that back foot grounded, or coming up and hovering over a warrior 3 type position for the legs, or not, and playing with the arms. Working with this fact of breathing in freedom in the heart, in the lungs, sending that throughout the body. Where is it that your body may be asking you to support you? How does it feel to keep open in the heart, to keep levity here? And whenever it feels like it's time for you to come back, gently landing back, just once again, allowing the arms maybe to levitate up, and then bringing them back in front of the heart and stepping yourself back into mountain pose. Mountain pose with a heart. Soften or close the eyes and check in once again with your body, with your breath, with that heart mind. Has anything felt different about doing this practice this way? All right, and softly open the eyes. So we're going to take this now into just working a little bit, and I should show you from the side. So we're going to work with warrior 2, but then the sense of staying centered here. And can we spring a little bit possibly into tree pose? All right, so we've done this a couple times before. So the back leg of your warrior 2 is going to end up being the standing leg of your tree pose, right? So for me, because this is the side of my back that was hurting, I'm not being very wide into my warrior 2. And coming up on this side, I would be careful like that, all right? The other side, I could probably spring a little bit better. So just be aware of that in your body, but centered here again. So even though we're springing with the legs, sending that energy down, inviting that energy to help us come into that, but letting it stay centered here, light, free. Let this feeling of love, compassion play in your body. So whichever side you want to start on, find a warrior 2 type position, maybe a little bit not quite as wide as you normally do, so you can spring into it. And your back leg, you're probably going to want to have out kind of like a 90-degree or even angled farther towards the back of your mat if you normally stand on that leg with the toes externally rotate a little bit. All right. So just here, let's bring the hands in front of the heart again. Bend through that front knee. Centering in that heart. All right. This lightness now that we've been working with. And then whenever you're ready, however you want to, maybe dragging that foot back a little bit or springing off of it, and just play with coming into a tree type position. You may even find you want to bring it down to the ankle the first time, then step it back and play with that. Now you can bring your arms out if they'll help your balance a little bit better, and then bring them back to the heart, or take them up in the air and try this. How does my heart feel maybe doing this with my arms in a couple different positions? Arms up might actually help, or it might not. Might be arms on the hip. All right, so as many times you can just go back and forth, or you can stay in the tree and find that there. Breathe again into the heart, lungs, and radiate that out through the arms, the legs. And then as you're ready, back to that warrior 2, and just for a moment, bring the hands back to the heart, remembering I am the warrior of compassion. All right. So lifting up that back heel, turn yourself around, step forward, and we're going to now go to the other side. So find your warrior 2 type position to the other side. And again, just adjust that back leg as you need to, since we're not in our typical warrior two. Center the hands again at the heart. Take a couple breaths here. Think about how you want to enter into and work with this. And then as you're ready, begin to play with it. How might I find my way into a tree from this side? What arm positions support me being able to do this with open heart and levity? Invite both this feeling of compassion and light from the heart with the root grounding of the tree. And once you have done this on both of those sides, coming back just for a moment into that warrior two, hands to the heart, and then starting to lift up the back heel, stepping it forward. Mountain pose with the heart again. Soften, close the eyes. All right. Go ahead and open up the eyes. How's it feeling?
Super nice. Good.
Good. All right. We're going to take this down now. We're going to come into, and we're going to do a seated twist. We're going to spend a little bit of time on each side. And then we're going to come into a forward bend. And the forward bend, again, can be supported. So you may want to have your bolster or your blocks handy and ready as we transition into that. Seated twist first, though. So again, if you typically sit on a, I can't think anymore, a blanket. LED spitting water at us. Come on down.
This is to do a twist.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to sit to do the twist, and we're going to sit to do the forward bend. All right. So now, tradition in yoga is to twist to the right first. So whatever twist you might want to do, I am going to, just because twists aren't feeling that great on my back today, I'm going to do this one with the knee up. Whoops. With my left knee up, I'm going to do an open twist, which means I'm actually going to turn away from this knee like this, because this is feeling a little bit better on my back right now. So that's an option. If you don't have stuff going on with your back, you could always do this one where you're turning towards this knee. You could do the legs so that you're getting a hip opening with the legs. You could do Mariachinasana. I cannot talk anymore. So you could cross the one leg over your straight leg, whichever version you would like to do of your seated twist, right? This is going to be mine. So rooting down, and as you're preparing for this, again, come back and into your heart and your lungs. As we twist, can you still find the freedom in your heart and lungs? That's the most important thing, not how far you go. So finding the hand behind you, maybe to support your spine, with a nice long inhale, filling the lungs, and on the exhale, just gently beginning to move into the twist, wherever it is that it's feeling like you want to go today. Once you have yourself in that position, again, lightly draw the chin in and down, soften the eyes or close your eyes, and invite your awareness to stay in that heart mind, to still continue to feel this freedom, even if the lungs are lightly twisting, the heart is riding along with that, our spine is twisting, the muscles are supporting it. But there's this sense of freedom and compassion within them. There's not a destination or a form that you have to get to. The main thing is inviting love to be throughout your whole body right now. Imagine that your breath is coming through the crown of your head directly into your heart. And your exhales send that light and energy of your heart out throughout all of your body. You're drawing prana from above into the heart, exhaling it, sending, feeding all of yourself. One more nice full breath in. Now as you're ready, gently start to unwind from this side. Releasing the legs and pausing for a moment. And then as you're ready, begin to move into the other side. Finding if you're using that back arm for support, the position of that back arm. Your inhale, lengthening through the spine. The exhale, gently working your way into the twist to this side. Finding the place where this is, I can maintain and I can stay centered in my heart. Drawing the chin down, the eyes inward. As you breathe into this twist, again, centering that awareness of that feeling of freedom here in the heart. No destination. Centered in the sense of love for yourself. Then beginning to invite the breath to come in through the crown of the head into the heart. The exhales radiating out through the arms, the legs. Inviting the energy of the heart to all the cells of your body. Drawing in any additional prana that you may need and sending it out through you. One more breath. And again, at the end of that breath, when you're ready, coming back and around to the front and extending both of the legs out. And give them a little wiggle, wiggle. Now, I had said that we were going to do a seated forward bend. But what I'm realizing is for me, if I was to do this, that would not feel good on my back. It would actually feel better for me to be on my back and lift my legs up. So if you choose to do that, that's fine. You could even do, Pam, I know at home you can usually find a place to do legs at the wall if you want that.
I'm going to do legs. Can I do supported child's pose?
You can do supported child's pose on your back. Or you could do a seated forward bend with using your bolster to support your forehead. So all choices are valid. In some way, manner, shape, or form, though, you have flexion between your hips and your spine, whether you're on your back or you're sitting. So finding and beginning to work your way into that position. Using whatever tools you may want to do that. Now, as you find your way into this position, looks like all of you are choosing to be on your back. Smart choice. I like that. So again, just as we started this class, feel the back of your body really nicely supported. And just invite, again, your heart to relax in between the lungs. We've centered on the heart so much and the lungs so much. So now just invite yourself to release into what effect this has had. Feel how the support of bringing heart energy throughout your body has now felt. And rest in this. We're going to be here for a couple minutes. So keeping awareness, just notice, how do my feet feel? How do my legs feel? Now, we didn't do a particularly strong active class, but how do my legs feel now? Do they feel like they got enough love and support? And if not, send them some more. How does my pelvis, my hips feel? Have they received this love and compassion enough? How does my abdomen feel? My spine? My low back? Tanya's going to come over and kiss you, Elodie. And you, Debbie. How do my arms feel? My shoulders? My hands all the way down my arms? Have they been receiving? I feel filled with this love and compassion. How does my mind feel? My eyes, my senses, my ears, my mouth. If you're in a position which you need to change one side, you've been crossing your arms and legs, for example, over a bolster, go ahead and switch to the other side. If you're in a symmetrical position, just stay here. Continue to observe. Invite your body to tell you if there's a place that needs to receive more of this love of yours. As you went through in the last couple minutes, was there a part of you that seemed to say, yes, please send more my way? Listen to that wisdom. Now we've been working with bringing really this sense of love for ourselves throughout our body. And once we have that established as a natural way of existing, it will help us to see this truth about ourselves more clearly. Our mind won't be as much the driver, our heart will be, but it is the heart with wisdom. And so inviting your body to then tell you the truth about what you need is helpful. Now, whenever it feels like it's time to start to come out of this position, you're going to start to return. If you have the legs up the wall or on the couch or something, start to gently bring them down. If you have your legs wrapped around the bolster, start to unwrap them, set the bolster off to the side. And we're going to, in just a moment, go into Shavasana. But you may want to lift lightly up into some gentle bridges a couple times, or you might want to do an easy twist on your back. Listen to what your body is asking you for before we go into Shavasana corpse pose. And then as you are ready, feels like you've got your body ready for lying in corpse pose. Start to bring yourself into corpse pose. Get all the right tools. training first, please? Or should I put you on your leash? She's gonna lay down by the back wall, maybe. We'll see. All right. So here comes Pepper down the front path. So just be aware we may have more dogs joining us. All right. Find and feel your body relaxing down. Legs in just that right position. Arms in just that right position. Shoulder blades supported. Sacrum supported. Back of your head supported. Now just invite that wonderful breath and energy down through your legs, all the way to your toes. With some nice full exhales, start to relax feet, calves, thighs, hips, pelvis. Just feel all of the lower part of your body relaxing and supported by the earth. Now doing that same thing with your breath from your shoulders down to your fingertips. Perhaps your exhale softening the hands, the fingers, the lower arms, the upper arms, the shoulders and the shoulder blades. And from shoulders out to your fingertips, your arms are feeling completely supported by the earth. Now invite your breath into the lower part of your back, your abdomen, softening there, relaxing there with the exhales. The lower lobes of the lungs, although they'll keep working for you, relaxing now. Finding the breath into the middle part of the lungs, the rib cage, the middle part of your back. Exhales now softening, relaxing the muscles. And even though it will keep working for you, the diaphragm muscles and the middle lobes of the lungs relax lightly. Then inviting your breath into the upper part, the chest, the upper part of your back. And feeling again with the exhales, the upper lobes softening just lightly. The shoulder blades relaxing even more. The upper muscles of your back relaxing, softening, supported completely by the earth. Now invite the breath through the neck, the throat, going up into the jaw, the tongue, the ears, the eyes, the forehead and scalp and brain. Everything relaxing. Coming into this sense of supported relaxation throughout all of your body. Your breath relaxed. And your mind again, just staying with this awareness in the heart. Invite, as your body continues to release, any more of what truth you may need to know to come to you during this rest. And stay aware and open to what arises. take your time to start to come back into awareness of your breath and your body and the feeling of your body lying on the earth. Bring back the messages of your heart. And as you're ready, gradually and easily begin gentle movements. Maybe a nice big full stretch and gently coming over and onto your side that's the most comfortable for you. Then as you're ready, let your arms help your body come back and out into a seated position. We're going to be here for about 10 minutes. So as you find your meditation seat, just feel the lower part of your body really rooting down. A nice tall spine. As you're ready, softening and closing the eyes. And once again, become centered in this feeling of your heart. Feeling the breath of yours coming in through both of your nostrils and imagining it coming down through the side channels and joining at the root, that red oval space in the pelvic floor. And your exhale coming back and up through both of the side channels, kind of the eyebrow center, and then out through the nostrils. Bringing your awareness to the breath moving through the two side energy channels. The left side, imagining that as like a white stream of colored air. And the right side, a red stream of colored air. The center they come through behind the eyebrow center is that white oval shaped. And they come down, imagining them coming out kind of like a small bow. And then joining once again together at that red oval shape in the pelvic floor. Exhaling back from there, red on the right, white on the left, to the white oval shape, then out through both nostrils. Continue with this visualization for a few more breaths. One more full breath in this manner. Then after the exhale, release that visualization. Now bringing once again your awareness to the central channel, from the pelvic floor up through that heart center, through the center of the brain, through the center of the head and above. And begin to focus your breath down through this, starting above the head, coming in through the head, all the way down to the pelvic floor, exhaling back and up. On the inhale, hearing the syllable so. On the exhale, the syllable hum. So coming down through the central channel to the pelvic floor. Hum coming back and up, out through the crown of the head. I am that. Two more of these breaths. And then release the breath in the central channel. Now coming back into the heart center. And in here, instead of envisioning the heart, envisioning now that more fundamental center here, the blue bindu, the blue oval shape around the same area. Invite your awareness to sense. It may feel small or it may feel larger. There is no assigned size. This is the center that is believed to energetically create all of our energy system. Just as our heart sends out the life-giving blood and oxygen through our physical body, this blue bindu sends out the life-giving energy body throughout all of the channels. So imagining now that you're breathing in to the blue bindu, and your exhale is sending out the energy throughout all the channels, throughout all of your body. Prana being extended out to your fingertips, to your toes, to the crown of your head, to the base of your pelvic floor. Feeling one of the breath coming into that center, possibly the inhale, and the exhale sending that out to the periphery of your body. And in the next few breaths, imagining you're still inhaling into this blue bindu. But as you exhale, this goes out even beyond your body and out into the world. This place of physical and mental and spiritual energy, sending out compassion, wisdom. You have filled yourself, and now you begin to fill the world around you. Sending this out to the ones you love, to the ones you may not know, to the ones who challenge you, to feeling the vastness of this compassionate wisdom surrounding the world itself. And knowing that it's not just you who does this. Your inhale draws in and fills you with the wisdom and compassion of all the people of the world itself. Mother Nature and all of her creatures, all the mountains, all the trees, all the rivers, all the oceans, all the animals, all the humans, joining in this beautiful circle of giving and receiving. On your next inhale, then begin to start to bring that back in, to creating that egg just around you, feeling the protection, yet lightness of your being. As you're ready, then bringing your palms together right in front of that heart and blue bindu. Bow to honor all you are, all that you can give to you, all that you can give to the world, and all that you can receive. May we find that in balance, in harmony, in love, and in wisdom. Let's close the practice with a single chant of Om arising through the central channel in the Uchara manner. Exhaling together and inhaling. Thank you for your practice. Om.
Gracias.
Thank you, Pam.